and thank you for watching. Today,
We're going to talk about wire, and more importantly, we're going to talk about SoundQuest wire. Stay tuned. All right, today we're going to talk about wire, and specifically, we're going to talk about.
SoundQuest.
That's right. They've come out with a new kit.
No, that's the upgrade kit.
They've come out with an upgraded kit, and we're going to tell you all about it and why you should use it. But we have a special guest here to tell us all about it, to tell us about it, so that, well, you get the idea. Let's bring him in, shall we? Who do we got?
Okay, so we have Jeff Smith from Amp of America.
Bring him in. Yay! Clap, clap.
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
How you doing, Jeff?
Good to see you.
Well, tell our fans, or fellow watchers, or whoever the heck decided to watch this at a drunken stupor on a Saturday night, who are you?
Well, my name is Jeff Smith. I am the Director of Training for Amp of America. I am the guy that goes out and trains all of our local dealers like you guys and all the other dealers across the country and around the world. Been a cardio guy all my life, 25 years in the industry.
So, you think that qualifies you to tell us about this wonderful kit right here?
Well, seeing as how I have to work with this every day, I would say so.
All right, well, cool.
Okay.
Well, Fernando's got a
I
question.
have a couple questions. You know, they say they have like CCA wire, OFC wire, UFC wire, or what is all that means?
Well, we don't really do UFC wire anymore. We actually only stick to OFC, which is
OFC.
true copper.
Okay.
It's oxygen-free copper, which means it is the best wire to be used in car stereo.
Okay.
So it will not corrode because
It
it is
will not
oxygen-free.
That's very important.
All right. Now we do offer our value series wire, which is built from CCA, copper-clad aluminum.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not the absolute best to use, but for those on a budget and for low-powered systems, you can get by with it.
Right.
Okay.
So we have two different ones.
Right.
So, what do we have here today?
Today we have our SoundQuest OFC, oxygen-free copper kit, the SQ1200XS.
Now, that's a 4-gauge kit,
Correct.
and they also make it in an 8-gauge kit, which is the SQ600, and then they make it in a 0-gauge kit, which is the SQ2400.
Correct. Yes. Complete kit. Everything you could possibly want in this kit. You're talking 17 foot of oxygen-free copper power wire,
Tell you what, hold that thought. While you're doing that, I just so happen to have one open here.
Bam!
Okay. So let's move this.
You gotta be careful. Our fans don't like it when we drop stuff on the floor.
All right.
They've told me. All right, so we got this right here.
Right, so you have 17 foot of power wire, oxygen-free copper.
Now, what makes this new better than the old is this uses the ultra flexible PVC shielding.
Correct. We went to a higher grade of PVC shielding, as you said, but we actually call it the jacket to the wire.
Oh,
It actually allows you to take this 4-gauge and bend it and even tie it in knots if you actually wanted to.
underneath the back seat.
Exactly. Making it super flexible to come down the firewall, under the carpet, not through your door jamb and under the
Just
car
easier to
and
go
around
through
the
the door jamb.
seatbelt loops and all that.
Well-
But we make it so it can conform under the carpet to get all the way back to the trunk where you're going to mount your amplifiers.
Well, I know the older stuff seemed real rigid and hardcore.
Yes.
What kind of temperatures will this take?
This will actually go above 180 degrees. What's about 105 degrees
200
Celsius. So that's about 221 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's a hell of a guess.
That's
That's a good conversion.
pretty hot.
That is pretty hot. All right, so what's the strand count on this? Because everyone always wants to know, what's my strand count?
Strand count on a 4-gauge kit is 2,940 strands for this 4-gauge kit.
That's pretty good.
That's really good
That's
for
really
a
good.
4-gauge kit. The other thing that we do is actually called a hyper twist. This allows that wire to get really flexible.
It's like a phone cord back in the day.
Exactly.
Everyone's going, what's a phone cord? What are you talking about? Who had one of those?
Okay.
You
What
know that
else
thing
we
in your
have?
grandmother's kitchen? Phone cord?
My kitchen, what are you talking about? Old guy, remember?
The other thing we
Um,
have is going to be copper remote turn-on
Remote
wire.
turn-on,
There's
okay.
16 feet of this in the kit. So 17 foot of power wire, 3 foot of ground wire, 16 feet of remote power wire.
Now, these are my favorite. These are a carryover. And I love these.
Right.
These are
These are our
awesome.
everyday install SoundQuest Twisted Pair copper also
Yeah.
RCA cables, 17-foot RCA cables.
Oh,
Very good cables for entry level price.
okay.
And then of course we're gonna have our copper speaker wire. We give you 20 feet of wire in all of these kits, so you'll be able to get your subs wired up, your 6x9s, whatever amplifier you're wiring up. You got 20 feet of wire to wire up your speakers.
Now I know on the 8 gauge as well as the 4 gauge kit, it comes with some of this cool stuff here.
What is
Right.
that?
Flex loom. Flex loom is to go over the actual jacket of the wire when you're under the hood to protect it further from heat, gases, oils, any of the crap, antifreeze that could possibly get on the wire. Discolor it, change it, and things like that. It's to make it look more factory under the hood of the vehicle.
I mean, it
People
doesn't come in
use it,
chrome.
please.
No, it doesn't come in chrome.
Okay, what else we have?
The all important.
This is the fuse holder. We actually have gone down to the mini A&L fuses, so no longer the big crazy A&L fuses. We actually do a smaller, more installer-friendly A&L fuse holder. It is waterproof, so this actually goes under the hood. Okay?
Key point there, under the hood. As much as you want to put it next to the amplifier, it is not for the amplifier. It's to protect the wire, which in turn will protect your car from burning to the ground.
Exactly. We actually put a gasket on the outside of it to protect water getting into the fuse holder.
Okay.
We have a gasket on the top of the wire connection here, and a gasket at the bottom here.
And look at this. It comes with a grommet.
Grommet. Very key factor here. Don't just take the little wire and accessory pack and throw it in the trash. A lot of guys, when you see these do-it-yourselfers, they will just run the wire through a door jam or say, hey man, my buddy knows how to hook up stereo. Well, my buddy's not a hook up Beats.
Yeah.
So, no, the grommet is a plastic protection device that you drill a hole into your firewall, pop this in, and it's built specifically large enough for the 4-gauge wire to then pass through that grommet, through the firewall. This will protect the wire from shorting and burning down your car.
Now, if you are going to drill a hole through your firewall, we do recommend using a uni-bit, and also start with a pilot hole. That way you can take a pick tool or a toothpick or something like that, stick it through the firewall, and make sure you're not drilling into a wiring harness and or brake booster.
Correct.
Very important.
Yep.
Now the kit in that magic bag that had the grommet, we also have 4 ring terminals and 2 fork terminals, and a bunch of little
Booties.
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 Right.
Who doesn't like booty?
So basically, these are for, number one, connecting your power wire directly to the battery.
Okay.
All right, properly. You also have enough of these in order to do your ground connection properly as well. You want to make sure you find a good, solid ground spot in the vehicle.
Didn't come with 6 self-tappers for
Um,
the ground.
that may have changed. I'm really not.
It was a joke, man. It was 6 self-tappers? Come on. Anyway, inside.
No, you want to make sure
install
you
joke.
clean off the metal, have a good point to ground the actual kit to. You want to make sure that kit is, if you're a do-it-yourself or if you trust a professional, they're going to actually make sure it is a low-resistance ground point.
Yes.
You don't want to ground it to the back of a seatbelt bolt. You don't want to ground it to the back of a folding-down seat. You don't want to ground it to your trunk arm or anything that just happens to create a little spark because it's got a little bit of ground potential to it. You will burn your car down, ruin your car audio equipment, and then blame the shop that sold it to you when it was actually an installation fault.
It also comes with a bunch of little zip ties and 2 red butt connectors.
Awesome.
That's for your Moterno wire.
Yep.
Well, this looks like a pretty complete kit. I'm happy. We use these every day.
Every day.
I like the addition of the Ultra Flex to it. That makes it so much nicer. And hey, we'd like to thank you for coming today and telling our folks about this great quality product that we use daily. And on that note, what do we say at the end of the show?
Well, thank you for watching. You guys can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
And as usual, have a great night, and we'll see you next time. One more thing before you go. If you want to know more about the difference between OFC and CCA, we have a performance video we did. We'll put a thing in the description, a link to it, so that you guys can check it out. That'll show you how hot a wire can get, why you want to use OFC instead of CCA. It'll show you how much more power you can get. It's a really nice video. Check it out. And hey, see you next time. And if you have any questions, you know where to put them. We'll get back to you. Thanks.
Thanks,
Have a
guys.
nice night.